I have a morning walk practice at home. Same trails, same bare trees, same cold air coming off the water. Ice along the edge of the streams, snow in places the sun hasn't quite reached yet. I know this place. I know where the light hits the water just right in early morning. I know the signs the spillway makes when the stream is low. I learned to find all here in the familiar. But I've been wondering about something. Is what I'm actually practicing attention, or have I just memorized where the all is? The morning before I left, a storm came through. The morning park was saturated. The streams were over their banks. The spillway, which I had walked past all winter as a quiet trickle, was running fast and loud and white with foam. All that accumulated water finally moving, going somewhere. I filmed it and stood there longer than I planned, and then I left for somewhere that I had never been before. The first morning I noticed I was looking differently, not at beautiful things, those announced themselves, other things. Palm trees lining the road. Flower hedges that I had no name for, houses painted I wouldn't have thought to put together, every garden spilling over with things that were very much alive. After weeks of bare trees and gray light, color felt almost startling. I kept stopping, not because I decided to, because my eyes kept finding things they haven't seen before and needed a moment with them. Unfamiliar places don't let you go on autopilot. You haven't categorized anything yet, so your eyes are still taking in raw data. That's not a travel feeling. That's what attention feels like before habit closes back around it. I started making a mental list. The marine layer here is different from home. It softens everything. The light has a quality that I don't have a word for. This island sits next. It's part of the largest naval base in the world. The road noise is constant. Military trucks, motorcycles, sirens, the hum never stops. I had assumed, without realizing I assumed it, that all requires quiet. But at the end of that street, the bay opened up, and inside of all that noise, a pelican, floating, not moving, not hurrying, simply there. A seagull on the shore picking at a dead fish. The world going about is unsentimental business. An old man at the pier, his fishing rod lifting, lowering, patient in a way that had nothing to prove. These aren't profound observations. That's the point. All doesn't always arrive as a thunderclap. Sometimes it's just noticing that you are noticing. By the third and fourth morning, something had shifted. I was walking the same roads. I knew which block had a good coffee smell. I had a favorite beach. I had started to memorize it. Not completely. I was still a visitor, but the raw data feeling was already softening into habit. I was navigating now. I was no longer quite looking. It had taken less than a week. That's how fast the brain moves, from wonder to routine. It's not laziness, it's efficiency. The brain decides, I know this place, I can stop spending energy on it, but that decision has a cost. One morning a pelican flew past me, close enough to feel, just for a moment and then gone. I didn't plan it. Some things on a morning walk you find because you're paying attention, and some things find you. The evening before I left, I watched the sun go down over the bay. The water turned cold, then rose, and then a color that I don't have a word for. The naval yard went dark against the sky. The palms went still. I thought about the spillway back home, and all that water moving with such urgency through the flooded park, going somewhere. And this is where it goes. Still, open, wide. I walked without knowing I was leaving in a few hours, and I tried to see it again the way I saw it on day one. It's harder than it sounds. You have to consciously tell your brain, stop navigating, start looking. But here's what I found. The capacity was still there. The flower growing out of the fence was still worth stopping for. The light was still doing something that I didn't have a word for. I hadn't lost the ability to see. I had just stopped choosing to. That's the thing about all. It's not hiding. It doesn't disappear when you get familiar with a place. It just starts requiring a decision, a simple act of will, instead of arriving automatically. That's true here. That's true back home on my regular trails. You don't need to go to Coronado for this. Easter has always been about this exactly. The capacity to see a familiar world as if it is for the first time. Mary in the garden that first morning, the world looking the same as it always had, and utterly changed. And that's not a miracle that happened once. It's an invitation that comes every morning. Tomorrow, wherever you walk, try day one eyes, just for one block, and see what's still there. Happy Easter.